Hello friends, welcome you all. Today we are going to study one of the most important act which influenced Indian constitution to a very large extent. It is Government of India Act 1935. Before moving forward, I want to make one thing very clear. Government of India Act 1935 present constitution contains almost 60 to 65% portion from Government of India Act 1935. This is the most important contribution of Government of India Act 1935. Very minute things were given in this act, and this act shaped Indian constitution to a very large extent. We will try to understand every point in a very simple manner. Now, what could be the most important or basic introduction of this act? It was the second important milestone towards completely responsible government in India. I repeat once again, this was the most important milestone which made an attempt to provide completely responsible government in India. It is one of the most bulkiest act given or made by British Parliament. Now, it contained almost 321 sections and 10 schedules. What it said? First thing, it said an all India federation shall be established in India. They wants to establish an all India federation, and various provinces and princely states will be the units of this all India federation. So this act said for establishment of an all India federation, and provinces and princely states will be the units of this all India federation. Also, it say what was the most important drawback of this act was most of the provisions of this act never came into existence. All India Federation, it never came into existence. Why? The main reason was princely states refused to join this All India Federation. It was aimed at establishing All India Federation, but it could never be established as princely states refused to join this All India Federation. Another important part or the feature of this act was it divided powers between the center and its units in three lists. What were those three lists? First, it was federalist, where central government had the right to make laws. In federalist, total 59 subjects were there. Then it was provincial list. On provincial list, provinces had the right to make laws. It contained almost 54 subjects. Third, it was concurrent list. It contained almost 36 subjects. On concurrent list, both federal government as well as provincial government had the right to make laws. And fourth important thing was residuary power. Those subjects which were not part of federal, provincial or concurrent list came under residuary power. I repeat once again, those subjects which were not part of federal, provincial or concurrent list were part of residuary power, and as per the Act of 1935, residuary powers lied in the hands of Viceroy of India. I repeat once again, as per the Government of India Act 1935, residuary powers lied in the hands of Viceroy. So this was second important feature of this Act of 1935, which divided powers between the center and units in terms of three lists: federal list, provincial list and concurrent list. Now what it did? It abolished diarchy in the provinces. I repeat once again, it abolished diarchy in the provinces which was being aimed through previous act, and it introduced provincial autonomy in its place. It said provinces should be given autonomy to carry their own functions of legislation, executive and budget making. So diarchy in the provinces was abolished and it was introduced at the federal level. The act introduced a responsible government in provinces, a government which will be formed out of ministers who are elected by voters. So the most important thing, the Act of 1935, it introduced responsible government at the provinces. What was responsible government? Governor should act with the advice of ministers who are elected by people and who are responsible to provincial legislature. I repeat once again, governor should carry on governance with advice of ministers who are responsible to provincial legislature and who are elected by people. These responsible governments were started in 1937 after election, and they were discontinued in 1939 after start of Second World War. I repeat once again, the responsible governments were started in the year 1937 and they were discontinued in the year 1939 after the start of Second World War. Diarchy was adopted in the center. So diarchy was abolished in the state provinces and it was adopted at the central level. But the most important thing, diarchy which was adopted in the center, it never came into existence. It was there just only on paper. Also, it introduced bicameralism in the provinces. Bicameralism was introduced in 6 out of 11 provinces. 6 out of 11 provinces had bicameralism. The names of the provinces were: 1 it was Bengal, 2nd Bombay, 3rd Madras, 4th Bihar, 5th Assam, and 6th was United Provinces. You should know the names of these provinces. Bicameralism, it means the provincial legislature shall have 2 houses, 1 upper house, 2nd lower house. Bicameralism was introduced in 6 out of 11 provinces. The names of the provinces were: 1 is Bengal, 2nd is Bombay, 3rd is Madras, 4th is Bihar, 5th is Assam, and 6th one is United Provinces, that is current Uttar Pradesh. The bicameralism had 2 houses. One was legislative council, which was called as upper house in provincial legislature. Second was legislative assembly, which was called as lower house in provincial legislature. So bicameralism in the state had these 2 houses. Now, another important thing was they gave more separate electorate to other sections. They were depressed classes, women and laborers were given more and more separate electorate. It abolished the Council of India, which was established by Government of India Act of 1858. Remember, this important provision was established in Act for Good Government of India. This Council of India was abolished in this Act of 1935. Also, Secretary of State was provided with a team of advisor. This was very important thing for this case. And most importantly, voting rights were given to almost 10% of the people, which is called as franchisee. So voting right was expanded and it was given to almost 10% of the people. This made the government and the system and the administration and the constitution more and more representative, with increase in the voting rights given to the people. Also, it talked about certain important provision. It talked about establishment of Reserve Bank of India. The establishment of Reserve Bank of India was did in the year 1935. It was on the recommendation of, it was on the Act of 1934, and it was on the recommendations of Hilton Young Commission. Remember this name, it is very important. RBI was established on the recommendation of Hilton Young Commission. Also, it talked about creation of Federal Public Service Commission, Provincial Public Service Commission, and Joint Public Service Commission for 2 or more than 2 provinces. These were the most important provision. It talked about establishment of Federal Public Service Commission, Provincial Public Service Commission, and Joint Public Service Commission for 2 or more than 2 provinces. And finally, it talked about establishment of a federal court, which was set up in the year 1937, which later on became Supreme Court of India. So remember, this act talked about establishment of a Supreme Court, talked about establishment of federal court, which later on became Supreme Court of India. Keep watching the videos, keep sharing the videos. Thank you very much. Have a good day.